March 2015 with me, Lada from astrolada.com, for everyone who is a Cancer, Sun, Moon or Ascendant. And what is happening in March? Let's start with the big news. Saturn, the planet of responsibilities and duties, is turning retrograde and will be moving backwards through your 6th and 5th house from March till August. So you have to repeat some lessons, because Saturn is about hard lessons. Saturn is about testing. So some testing or some our responsibilities and duties. Saturn is the things we really don't like to do, but we have to do in order to survive. We have to do in order to become stronger, more mature, patient. And patience, maturity, and hardiness is cultivated in humans in the hard way. No one wants to become disciplined or responsible or mature if things are going smoothly and everything is great. That's why Saturn tests us. And so for the next few months, from March to August, you will be retested with or increased in responsibility, and it will be demanded more from you in regards to 5th and 6th house matters, because Saturn has been passing in the last part of your 5th house and in the first part of your 6th house. So the lessons, maybe you won't feel them immediately from March, but from March to August, I'm just warning you so you're prepared for this period. You'll be asked to redo certain things in regards, first of all, 6th house. Maybe some new extra responsibilities that you've taken in regards to work and your work environment and work colleagues. Maybe some kind of restructuring that's happening around work, because 6th house rules our daily work environment in a sense. And even if you don't go to a job personally, even if you work from home like me, this is your working environment, or even if you're a housewife, this is your daily routines and habits, the work and duties that you have daily. So they kind of increase in a sense from March till August, and they become more demanding for you. They require you to be more perseverant, to put extra work and extra effort into those kind of things. They demand you to redo a few maybe some project you've been working on, you might have to redo it. It might slow down, it might become more demanding, but this is how those qualities of perseverance are built, of hardiness, of persistence, of responsibility. And it requires from you Cancers, Saturn retrograde requires in the next few months to become much more responsible, again in regards to 6th house matters, which is your personal health, which is your work environment and your work, much more responsible, much more hardworking, much more structured and organized, more mature in your approach, more scientific more scientific approach in regards to how you structure your daily environment, your daily habits, and your health, because 6th house rules health as well. Not only the work environment, but also our health, the routines that we have to keep healthy. So some Saturn might, if you haven't been having a good routine, when Saturn goes retrograde in your 6th house, it can increase certain health issues. So it demands from you the hard way that you pay more attention to your health, that maybe you change something in your diet, that maybe you start working out. But also it's great that when Saturn is retrograde in your 6th house, which happens, so rarely, once every 29 years, that you can really introduce some new lifestyle, health routines and regimes which stick with you for life. I mean, if you do them now, especially during the Saturn retrograde, maybe you start walking half an hour every day, maybe you stop eating red meat, maybe you start drinking less, maybe you start working out, maybe you start waking up early, whatever changes you introduce which require more willpower and discipline into your health routines and regimes and daily life routines or work routines and work environment, these will stick for you for life. Maybe you make yourself more organized in the next months from March to August, in some way, and more organized in regards to your health, more careful in regards to your health. But if not, then problems start coming up. Then Saturn retrograde will bring problems with colleagues, with work environment, with things that break down in your environment, with your health, But if you do the right things, if you do the right restructuring and self-discipline, that Saturn requires self-discipline in those things, then there will no longer be difficult for you to do. Then you, by August, you would integrate them to such an extent into your life that they become your second nature and you stick with them forever. But it will be a hard push till August. From March to August, it's like, it doesn't feel so natural. It doesn't feel so easy. It's like you have to muster up this self-discipline to in regards to your work, in regards to all these things that I mentioned, you know. And also it might be to do with 5th house, because 5th house matters, because Saturn will also move into your 5th house back again. So revisiting lessons in regards to, you know, extra responsibilities in regards to children, extra responsibilities in regards to creative projects, or some kind of testing in regards to self-esteem and self-confidence and self-expression, because 5th house is the house of performance, where our confidence, we need to be confident too, and our self-esteem. So Saturn can demand, again, for a few months from March, maybe a bit down the line, you know, that you review again those issues and that you work hard on overcoming them. And with Saturn, we don't get support from outside. We have to do it ourselves. If we don't, things start breaking down there and we suffer. And building a more, Saturn retrograde in the 5th house is about building a more secure foundation for your self-confidence. If your self-confidence was based on looks, or was based on the fact that, you know, whatever it is, Saturn can break it down, so it can, so you rebuild new self-confidence based on something more stable, more realistic in your life. But anyway, let's go to the more specific for March prediction, because that was a more long-term prediction. Your 10th house is being very strongly and positively triggered by the 3 manifesting planets. Because basically the sign Aries gets triggered very strongly in March. And Aries, the sign Aries for Cancer, rules your career, rules your worldly performance. And 6th house is work and responsibilities, like in your daily environment, in your work. 10th house is the highest house in the horoscope. 10th house is your authority. 10th house is your business, is your highest goals, it's your vocation. So basically with 3 manifesting planets triggering your 10th house, this can be especially if your ascendant is in Cancer, to a lesser degree the Sun or Moon as well can happen very strongly, is that you can manifest in regards to career now. You can get a promotion, for example. If you haven't found a job for a while, you can find a job now in March, because the 3 positive manifesting planets trigger the 10th house. And this happens rarely. It's like gates that make this house happen in your life in a positive way. Maybe you can attract some authority figures, 10th house, which are beneficial for you, who help you in some way. Maybe you can improve a relationship with an authority figure. Maybe you can start some projects that you wanted to start for a long time. Maybe if there were some blockages in regards to some project or in regards with authority figures or career or getting ahead, doing something significant, something of importance in your life, now you have the chance to make it happen. So, you know, be more initiative in that direction, because things will happen. Mars is there in your 10th house. Mars is the planet of action. So getting things done, you know, getting things happen in regards to career. Venus is there as well. Venus is the planet that makes sure that everything goes smoothly, that you have more charm and charisma in approaching authority figures, or if you're doing anything important, it might be some presentation you have to do, but you're being noticed, because the 10th house is the highest house. Your authority and is being recognized in a sense. Your skill is being recognized in a sense. So this is the positive, and this is a practical house that is being triggered. So practical affairs in March 2015 can be, you know, they're triggered in a positive way by matters of practicality, of even of more financial, material, and responsibilities, work. More tangible matters is where you can be more successful in March, Cancer. So this is where I'll advise you to direct your attention in that area. Just a second. And there might be some sudden, around the beginning of March, some positive surprise in regards to financial matters, because Jupiter in your second house of finances receives a wonderful aspect from Uranus, the planet of sudden unexpected windfalls. And Jupiter is the planet of gains, is the planet of luck. So some of you might be somehow more lucky in regards to financial matters, especially the first week of March. I would say the first 7 days of March. And then there is a bit stress in the middle of the month, because there is Uranus-Pluto square, and it triggers Cancer, particularly those Cancers that are born around the 15th degree. So basically ascendant moon, from around, I would say, 14, 15, 16 degrees, they'll definitely feel it, which means that if your sun means that you're born maybe around, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th of July. They might have some sudden changes, more tense period now in March, more stresses, some turning points, something suddenly changing in their life, something it's like you've reached some peak and you have to now make a U-turn, like a total change that happens. But it will be, this tension will have been generating for a while, and now in March it's like a breaking point when finally it bursts out and a big change has to happen. And this, in your case, this might be to do with relationships, because Pluto is in your 7th house, or Uranus in 10th house. It has to do with some big change in regards to career, in regards to authority figures, or relationships. There can be some clash of relationship, business partnerships, or career and achievements in March for you. But somehow Jupiter is sending a lovely aspect at the same time. So it gets resolved in a positive way, in a sense. But there is tension, especially if you're born on those days that I mentioned. You can have some life-changing big turnarounds, psychological breakthroughs, emotional breakthroughs, and they can manifest on the physical level. If you've been holding on to the past all of a sudden and you don't want these changes to happen, but Pluto and Uranus demand changes, then you might get a nasty surprise. But you kind of probably felt that it was time for this to happen, and it just breaks, and you can no longer hold on to the old status quo. But anyway, for all of you other Cancers, focuses on practical materials matters, especially in career. You can get ahead. You can get ahead a lot, and you can have some manifesting experiences in that area. So thank you very much, and I will see you next month.